Y'all didn't know the district superintendent would be here today, did you? I'm Shelly, and I'm respectable. What that means is when you first see me, you suddenly can't remember if you've returned your library books or not. And if you haven't, it's not too late. Because if you don't, it will go on your permanent record. I'm an old person. I come from a long line of old people. That's what we do. We get old. My dad would have been, actually last month he would have turned 113. 113, I cannot wrap my mind around that. Especially since I just turned 120. I can't make the math work, you know. My mom almost made it to 94, 93 and change. So I got that to look forward to. She was fairly healthy too, up through her 80s. So I got that to look forward to. Not so much toward the end. She developed dementia and Alzheimer's. So. Dementia, that's what I was talking about. So the last couple of years I had to get a home health aide to be with her when I couldn't be there, and she didn't like that, of course. She said, "Oh, Shelly, I'm fine. I don't need anybody." I said, "No, I know you're right, Mom. I know you're right. It's just you told me you don't like to be alone. I want you to have some company." And she said, "Oh, I don't mind being alone as long as I have somebody to talk to." So I got that to look forward to. My dad, I don't talk to him much these days because, as you may recall, he's dead. And relax, I didn't kill him. No, I didn't kill him. But he does get in the way of conversation, is all I'm saying. He was a musician, and he was an English teacher. He was a pretty awesome guy. He had two daughters, me and my sister, in case you're following along in your notebooks. And he was fine, but I think he wanted a son. In fact, I'm pretty sure he wanted a son. And the reason that I think that is because he told me he wanted a son. And he even had a name picked out. My name is Shelly, and he named me after one of his favorite poets, Percy Shelley. And had I been a boy, he was going to name me after one of his other favorite poets, John Keats. But I wouldn't have been John Colman. I would have been Keats Colman, which is a fantastic name. Thing is, if I had been Keats Colman, I think I would have been legally required to play jazz saxophone. Small club in the village. Quintet. Trumpeter goes up to the mic. "Come to the microphone right now. On tenor and alto sax, Keats Colman." And then I come out in my dark shades, pork pie hat, shiny saxophone, and I go, "Wonk," and then leave. Because that's how Keats Colman plays. That would have been cool. So I'm a Brooklyn gal, born and raised. And I guess I have to say this. Brooklyn, all up in this piece. Representing the hood. And shit. I used to live in a part of Brooklyn that didn't have a name. Because when I was a child in the 1600s, it was all farmland, you know. I preferred it that way, really. Somebody'd say, "Where are you from?" And I'd say, "Brooklyn." And they'd go, "Oh, okay." And they'd give me their wallet. That was it. You know, we go on. But the village elders got together and decided, we need a name. Everybody else has a name. So they came up with the most pompous thing they could think of. And my old neighborhood that used to not be called anything but Brooklyn is now called Prospect Lefferts Gardens. Exactly. And with that name change, taxes went up. White people moved in. Now I had to get out, because I was used to being the palest one in the neighborhood and I couldn't take a competition, frankly. Now when When I say to a room full of black people that I'm a black woman, it's, yeah, sure, you look like my sister, my niece, my cousin, my mother-in-law, whatever. I say it to a room full of white people, no matter how woke y'all are, I still see doubt in their eyes. And I get it. I've seen me. I get it. I could disappear in a sandbox. I get it. I'm just the palest black woman you'll ever see. Mostly because Rachel Dolezal is actually white. Remember her? Remember Rachel? She was this woman who was the head of the NAACP in like Spokane, Washington or someplace where they don't have black people. This woman, her parents outed her. I love that. They should know, right? You'd think. She had a Netflix show. Rachel Dolezal had a Netflix show. Did anybody see it? It was called The Rachel Divide. Did anybody see it? No? I want to find someone who saw it because I have one question. What's the divide? She was part white and part also white. I don't get it. Now, to be clear, I did do the DNA test because, you know, I've looked like this for quite some time, and I'm mostly used to it, but every once in a while I look in the mirror and I go, what? So, I did the one where you spit in a tube and you send it off to the government, and then 6 weeks later you wake up in a bathtub full of ice with only one kidney. So it turns out, according to my DNA, I am part West African, part Western European, and part West Highland Terrier. I was not expecting that last one. That was a surprise. It does explain why I like to sit on the couch and have people bring me snacks, though. You got any snacks? So now I live in this other part of Brooklyn, which is, it's very, there's a lot of, it's Vermont. I live in Vermont. That's how white my neighborhood is. But it's fine, because with this space, I can move among them freely. They don't even know. That used to be called passing, which you'll see in your history books before you return them to the library. I don't like that expression, though. It makes it sound like I did it on purpose, and I promise you I had no choice. I like to think of myself more as a stealth Negro. Because I can fly under the radar. Now this gives me a certain privilege, and I'm well aware of that, okay? I do know that. It's not black privilege, because as far as I can tell, there's no such thing, except maybe the privilege of being shot by the police at an alarming rate. And it's not white privilege, because I'm not white. Although people do tend to think that I'm whatever they are. Like, I live across the street from a synagogue, or 2 synagogues, actually. Okay, 2 synagogues and the Brooklyn Bar Association, so 3 synagogues. Okay, now the reason I said that, 2 reasons. Number 1, because I have the microphone, and number 2, because according to my DNA, in addition to everything else, I am just a little bit Jewish. So I am Jewish enough, I think, that I can tell that joke, and I can go, without worrying about cultural appropriation. So it's not black privilege, it's not white privilege. What I have is beige privilege, which means that I can go into a store and probably not be followed by security. Unless it's an expensive store. In which case I will definitely be followed. Because I might not look black, but I sure as hell look broke. All right, thanks very much.